Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Zombies in Spaceland. Perceived by most, or if all the zombies community, to be one of the best zombies maps in the history of the Call of Duty Zombies. But I can say without a doubt that the Easter egg is not the easiest thing in the world. It's easier with Director's Cut because you have 25,000 points, all pack-a-punch weapons, single pack, and including wonder weapons, pack-a-punch in the mystery box, as well as all perks. But what about the process to do it without Director's Cut? Well, that's what I have for you guys today. In this Call of Duty Zombies guide, I will tell you guys the easiest strategy for beating this Easter egg without a problem. Now, this took me a lot of tries to do. I'm talking 20 plus. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So for this Easter egg alone, I'm going to recommend you take your time. It's as simple as that. So to start off with the class, there are only going to be 2 or 3 guns I would like you guys to have. The first one's going to be the M1. The M1's good for the early rounds. Now you could use it for the Centicoms if you wanted to. I just don't recommend it for the Centicoms. The second one is going to be the Kindle 44. This gun I recommend for the Centicoms. Again, the variant of choice would be the Dominion. And then finally, the third one's going to be a little odd. Now, this one is a variant you can craft with most weapons. The Karma 45, not so much, but it's going to be any variant that gives you a random perk. If you get 75 kills without going into last stand in a row with the one gun, you get a random perk. In this case, the gun I want you guys to craft would be the NV4 Prosperity. It has that perk on, and the NV4 is 1500 points for a wall buy. Now, if you want to do that with the Karma 45, it's called Kismet, but you need to play some more multiplayer. I don't remember which division it is. I do remember it's level 30, though. It's the one in the middle of the progression. But that will come in handy so you can save yourself some points when getting a perk. Again, this is the slower route, casual route. You don't have to run it. It's just the best strategy I have for you guys. In terms of Fate and Fortune cards, this is also one of those Easter eggs where the Fortune cards outweigh the Fate. If you want to do all Fate, you can do Scope Dollars, 5 Seconds Muscle, Best for Last, Eagle Eye, and the 5th one's whatever you want. Carpenter for extra points, Irish Luck for a random card, you name it. For the Fortune cards, the ones I'm going to be running are Ammo Crate, Super Minuteman, Perk Insured, and Reanimated. Perk Insured, Reanimated, it gives you that second chance in the boss fight. Ammo Crate's the most important one you want to run, 100%. Now, other Fate cards or Fortune cards you could use Infinite Ammo, you could use Insta Kills, Max Ammo would probably be nice. Restored Losses maybe would work too. Anyway, those are the Fate and Fortune cards. So now let's get on to how we start this Easter egg. For the first step of the Easter egg, you need to open up Pack-a-Punch. And this is where the points come in handy. So for the first few rounds, just stay within the spawn area up until round 4. So there is one in the arcade. It's right next to the entrance. The switch is on the very left side of the portal against that wall close to the barricade. Go ahead and turn it on, and then activate Pack-a-Punch. And then you want to go to Journey into Space. Journey into Space, when you go all the way past the rocket trap that's close to Tough Enough, it's going to be on the left wall there. Go back to the portal, activate it, and go through. For the third location, we're going to go to the Kepler system. The portal is next to the souvenir machine at the bottom of the stairs. At the top of the stairs is the power switch. Pretty easy. And then the last one, you can go into Polar Peak 3 ways. Your first way is through the main entrance for 1,000 points. Second way is through the arcade back entrance. The third way is through the fountains. Go through the fountains. This is very specific. Now, you could go through the other doors, but I recommend just going through the fountains. It'll come in handy later, making it easier for progression through this Easter egg. Now, when you get to the Polar Peak, you have to go up the ramp to open the door, and turn on the power switch, and then the portal is right next to the door you just opened. Once all 4 open, go back in, and then go ahead and hold X on the UFOs on the table to the left of the Pack-a-Punch machine. Yes, I know, they're for the wonder weapons, but you can't start this Easter egg without activating those at all. Just remember that. Now, for the second part of this start of the Easter egg, we need to build a Cenicom. There are a total of 3 parts. Each part has 3 locations. We're going to start with the boombox. For the boombox, the first location, you need to go down to Racing Stripes, and it's going to be right there on the table next to Racing Stripes. For the second location, we're going to go into the spawn. If you go to the bridges that branch from spawn to the main hub of Spaceland, you want to take the underpass bridge. It's going to be right there next to the popcorn machine. For the third location, it's right next to the power switch in Kepler system. You can't miss it. It's on the counter of the Moonlight Cafe. Now for the calculator, we're going to start with the arcade. In the arcade, if you go to the mystery box and go to the left of the mystery box alongside the arcade machines, there's going to be a blue trash can. The calculator is going to be on that trash can. For the second spot, you go to where Neil sits in the main hub of Spaceland, and on the yellow benches on his right, you're going to see the calculator there. For the third location, we're going to go all the way over to Kepler, and I don't exactly know what this cafeteria is. It's right from the chromosphere. There's going to be several bench tables right in front of the table, and it's going to be right there on one of the seats. Now for the umbrella, this is the hardest out of the 3 to spot. Don't worry, I know where every spawn is. For the first one, you go to the rocket trap, and on the side closest to tough enough where the activation switch is, you're going to see it there on the floor. For the second one, you're going to go into the spawn, go over to where you find Neil's head, and on the right, there's going to be a red bench close to the hyperslide and exit. It's going to be right there on that red bench. For the third spot, this is the most out of the way, I'd say. Excuse me. It's going to be in Polar Peak. Go all the way up to Polar Peak, and on the gift shop counter closest to the barricade, it's going to be right there on the counter. Now, did you notice something? You probably didn't, so I'll let you know. I went left to right across the entire map for all 3 spawns. You think that's a coincidence? It's not. Let me tell you exactly how this works. So with each of these 3 spawns, yes, they're random every time, but they're not going to be in a designated lane, if you will, for each spot. Let me explain. So I'm going to take a look at this map here real quick. For this, we have 3 lanes. We have the first lane, the second lane, and then the third lane. For the first lane, we have the arcade and Journey into Space. For the second lane, we have the main hub of Spaceland. And for the third lane, we have the Kepler system, and then the other half of Polar Peak. Now, does it make sense? Maybe not. So let me paint a bigger picture for you. When you're locating the items you need for the Senecom, it always goes in the emphasis of the 3 lanes. Left, middle, and right. If you find the part in the middle, let's say for instance you found the calculator in the middle, we know that the boombox is going to be on the left or the right, and same with the umbrella, left or right. If you know all the spawns, 3 each, not terrible to memorize, it's like any other buildable shield and Treyarch zombies, and then you find the umbrella in Journey into Space, then you know for a fact that boombox is going to be in the Kepler system. Does that make sense now? Let's try a different example. Let's say in one game, I find the umbrella in spawn next to the hyperslides. So I know now the calculator can either be in the Kepler system or in the arcade. So let's check the arcade first. Not there. That's fine. That means the boombox is going to be underneath Spaceland, right next to Racing Stripes. And then the calculator is going to be in the Kepler system. Now you might be thinking, well, if the stereo is underneath Spaceland, underneath the center, will that mean it's in the center lane? With the first spawn, you already said it's not going to happen? No. So, with that spawn, it's a little peculiar, but the Racing Stripes spawn, you have to enter from Journey into Space. So, by technicality, it's still on the left side. So, you have to enter from the left, then go to the center. If that makes sense, great. Now that we know how these spawns work, this should be easy for you guys every time. Now let's go ahead and start talking about the Easter egg steps itself, right? So when you grab all 3 Senecom parts and you release all the UFOs, first thing you're going to hear is this.
I need to seal this place up. I mentioned that.
When you hear that sound, that is the UFO that's lodged into Polar Peak. They're sending you a relay signal. It's more of an SOS, if you will. You need to relay it back using the Senicom. There are a total of 7 locations this can be spawned in at. Let's start with Journey into Space side. The entry of the Journey into Space is the first one right in front of escape velocity. I unfortunately cannot get footage of this, so credit to Six's one during his world record speedrun. For the second one, we're going to go next to Racing Stripes. It's right in front of the perk. For the third one, we're going to go all the way to the bumper cars. It is on the stairwell that leads into the bumper cars right behind that mystery box. I don't like this one. This one has a tendency for the crawler zombies that you can kill or attempt to kill. They can crawl into a little corner and then get stuck there and you won't be able to kill them because there's like an invisible wall there. It's stupid. Anyway, that's my gripe. For the next set, or the next one actually, we're just going to go to the entrance of Polar Peak. It's right there in front of the entrance. For the next 3, we're going to go into the Kepler system. First one is right next to the potted garden in the middle of the area close to bomb stoppers. The second one's in the fountains. This is by far the worst one to get. If you get it pretty early, great. If not, you're going to have to listen to what I have to say for how to tackle these. And then for the final one, it's going to be inside Polar Peak. This one's a little easier than you think. It's right there in the gift shop between the gift stands. Now for this one, you can activate the trap to delay yourself for, I think it's about 20-25 seconds. And then you have to watch for the window barricade on the right. Just know, yes, you open the door back there behind you, but no zombies spawn behind you. Just remember that. You're safe from zombies spawning behind you. So, what are we going to do with these Senicom relays anyway? Well, this is where we're going to pack our Candle 44. Candle 44 and Bomb Stoppers are 2 perks you're going to want. You can grab Tough Enough if you want, and grab Bang Bangs if you want as well. I also recommend grabbing the NV4 just to get some more points and maybe get a free perk so you don't have to spend points on all your perks. Like I said before, take your time. This is not one to rush. If you end up just rushing it, you might not be prepared for what's going to happen for the other ones. So for the first one, it's not that bad. The first one I found was underground in the Racing Stripes area. You don't need anything too climactic, if you will. You just need the Candle 44. Shouldn't be too hard. The underground one's the easiest out of the 7. Before we get on to the second one, I want to talk tickets. Tickets and wonder weapons are going to be the name of the game because we need the wonder weapon for the end, but right now just talking tickets. So for tickets, there are several ways to get and earn tickets. You can earn by setting off traps. You can earn them by doing those challenges. You can earn them by playing arcade games in the arcade. There are 5 arcade games that give you the most amount of tickets. Those are Saturn Basketball, Bowling for Planets, aka Skee Ball, Zombie Zoom, Cryptid Attack, aka it's more Skee Ball, but it's more like, you know, that the arcade game where you have to knock over clowns or whatever. Yeah, it's a similar sense to that. And then there's Black Hole Fun. Now for Rings of Saturn Basketball, it's easy. Just get a basketball in the hoop. You get 15 tickets a hoop. You can get a maximum of 105. Actually, I think it's 120, but 120 is very hard. I've seen it a few times. That takes a lot of skill with that game. It does. And also for the Rings of Saturn Basketball, if you play it the 2 or 3 times, you can get a maximum of 315 tickets. It's not terrible. For Black Hole Fun, it's a little bit of a timing one. You have to hold X on the ticket machine and wait for the ticket to fall through the 50. Now, I think it's about 4 or 5 tries, so you get a maximum of 200 to 250 tickets. For the Cryptid Attack, you need to launch a skee ball at one of the teeth. You knock over 1 tooth, you get 10 tickets. If you knock over all 6 teeth, you get 100 tickets. I believe this gives you 2 or 3 tries, giving you 200 to 300 tickets if you do it right. For skee ball, you have 3 skee balls to throw at one of the many holes in the machine. There's a 1 point, 25 point, 10 point, and a 50 point. The goal is to aim for the 50 point. If you get all 3, you're going to get 150. And you can get up to 2 to 3 tries. So it's going to be 150 to 450 tickets. In Zombie Zoom, you have to race one zombie to the end using the Oni squirt gun. The goal is to pace yourself here. You want to put it on the center, fire the trigger until it starts drifting off, then let go of the trigger, and then fire again. Repeat that process until you get to the end. It's It's really simple. If you win, you get 100 tickets. If you lose, you don't get any tickets. It's a high risk, high reward. The game of choice that you want to play is actually skee ball. It sounds really backwards because the 50 hole is not that hard. The first thing you need to do is practice getting to the 50. That's going to be the thing I can tell you. If you align yourself with, I think it's like the third rivet from the right, and then look at the skee ball, you're going to align yourself perfectly to where it lands in. When you're throwing the skee ball, you have a pressure meter. You need to align it to right about here. When you align it to here, it's the perfect amount of pressure to add to get it in the hole every time. So again, flush yourself with the machine, then throw your skee ball in with that distance, and you'll get it every time. Now, why am I asking you to do skee ball for the 50 hole? Well, there's a little bit of a bug with this skee ball machine. If you throw 2 balls and you score tickets, but then leave the machine, there's a bug that will triple your tickets for no reason. So don't throw all 3, just throw 1 or 2 and then leave the machine and your tickets will triple. It's ridiculous. This is why I'm saying skee ball is the way to go. So instead of the 100 tickets you would get if you got 250s using this method, you would get 300 tickets. And with 2 to 3 tries, you're getting 600 to 900 tickets if you land 250s. That is big. You only need to play the game twice. To get the 600, you can get the rest of the tickets from Neo's challenges, which I would highly recommend. For his challenges, there are, distance kills, melee kills, jumping kills, multi-kills, and do not go on the last stand. Now, I'm not going to touch the wonder weapons yet. We're going to get there later. The reason I'm having you guys grab tickets is because there's one prize I need you guys to grab from the prize booths. If you're wondering where these are, if you go to the arcade, right in front of the main entrance to the arcade is going to be the prize booth. There's usually 3 slots. You have a small weapon for 25, a medium tier for 50, and the arcane core for 300. That'll come in handy later. That's for the wonder weapons. We're not talking about that right now. The second one's going to be in the entrance to the Polar Peak, right under the giant Yeti. The third one, you go on the journey into space, go all the way to the bumper cars, and at the end of the bumper car ride, close to the stairs, you're going to see that prize booth there. For the Polar Peak, it's going to be right next to the Steel Dragon on the right-hand side. For Kepler, it's going to be at the bottom of the stairs, close to the portal. You have to go behind the portal, close to the HVR wallby. And then for the last one, you go into the underground section, close to Racing Stripes. It's just outside that little mess hall. It's going to be right there, close to the ladder, where the teddy bear spawn can be. You're looking for a 25 ticket purchase called Rewind. Rewind gets you out of a sticky situation and gives you full ammo when you activate it. This is going to help on the Cenicomp step. The second location I did have for the Cenicomp was the Polar Peak gift shop. For this one, we're just going to go ahead and place it down, spam the candles, and wait till you almost run out of bullets, down to like the last clip. This isn't that bad. Like I said before, you can use the Steel Dragon to help you. You can just watch the window. They won't come from behind. But once you have that low clip, activate that rewind, and you'll get all of your ammo back, and you'll be able to complete this just fine. There isn't a need to rush, and there isn't a need for any kind of fortune cards right now, any kind of item to help you out. You just need the candles. That's all you need. Now for the final one, I did get the bumper cars, which is very, very unfortunate. Because like I was saying earlier, the zombies can crawl into the little section on the right, and you won't be able to kill them. This is proof right here. I'm just going to show you guys. Like, I tried to kill it with the explosive damage from the Kindle, but it would not die. So I'm like, ugh, okay. Since I wasted the ammo crate that I wanted to use, I have to do it again. Now, for ammo crate, I did have another game with ammo crate. So when you get the third one, you're just gonna do the Cenicom like normal and wait till about 60 to 65 seconds. What ammo crate does is that with every 3 seconds, a yellow line will pulse out, giving you 1 reload on your ammo clip and restock your ammo in your magazines, or for your stock ammo, I should say. This is very good. It also helps with charging your Fate and Fortune card meter. So when you activate it, you will 1 get ammo and 2 get another Fortune card at the ready, which is very big. So there's no need to get another rewind or chase around a rewind. or use that Super Miniman you're seeing right there in the game I was showcasing this for, unless you get boned and get the bumper cars one like I did. So here's the fail, and I'm going to skip to my actual successful run. I had to pop the Super Minuteman. I didn't want to. It is a strategy to have, but I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. So you just go ahead and do that, and then once the Senecom is over, you can pick it up once more and grab the max ammo. Now here's where a lot of people get confused. How many rounds do you have to wait? Well, it's very dependent on the clown round. For anyone who doesn't know, a clown round during either one of these Senecom defenses or getting the speakers will not count towards the Easter egg steps. It's super strange. I don't understand why. So if you try to pick up the Senecom, let's say you lost it, like I did, and you try to pick it up during the clown round, you won't be able to pick it up. The DJ just doesn't hand it to you. He doesn't. So you have to wait another round to pick it up. The same goes for this round. Now, the round you beat the Senecom on, you need to finish that round first. And then do one full round. One full zombies round. No clown round. So you can't do a full clown round and then pick it up. You have to do a full zombies only round. When you do a full zombies only round, you will then be able to pick up the Senecom. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Wonder Weapon since that's what we need to do now. As I was saying before with Skee Ball, you need to at least get 600 tickets. If you want to go for the Head Cutter weapon, Wonder Weapon, you need 950 tickets. I already have a guide posted for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and blaze through these real quick. For all of the Wonder Weapons, you have a battery, a toy, and a crystal. For the batteries, they each have their own little side quests. We're going to go ahead and start with the Face Melter. For the Face Melter, you need to activate Pack Punch, or at least get the power on to activate the portal in Journey to Space. Now you need to throw one of these 3 grenades into the portal when you activate it. Either going to be a frag, a cluster, or a Semtex. Activate the portal, throw the grenade in once it says you can teleport, and now the grenade will be red. You need to juggle this grenade all the way to the Pack-a-Punch portal, and then throw it into the Pack-a-Punch portal. Now, the goal here is to not rush it, and just take your time with it. The best strategy I have is to throw it down on the ground when your cook time reaches about halfway. And then once you have it in the portal, you'll be granted the battery. For the Discord battery, you will need to get a pair of sunglasses. These can spawn as easily as round 1, but they have a tendency not to, so it's between round 1 and whenever it wants to show up. But when you find a pair of glasses, you need to find 5 red targets. There are a total of 13 spawns. There's 4 in the spawn, there's 6 in the arcade, and then there are 3 just outside it. One's on the stairs up to Polar Peak through the back way, and the other 2 are around the bumper cars. Once you have all 5, you'll see the battery in the middle. Just make sure you shoot them with the glasses on. You will not be able to see these with the glasses off. For the battery and for the Head Cutter, again, you'll need the cryo grenades for 350 tickets. Make sure you get those. And then we need to take the cryo grenade to the spawn right in front of the Polar Peak entrance. There's that big Yeti I mentioned earlier is going to be our key here. We need to throw the cryo grenade on the Yeti and let it freeze the train of zombies. Then we need to shoot the heads off of each zombie. Simple as that. When you hear this roar, you would then have the battery sitting in the hand of one of the Yetis in the Polar Peak gift shop. For the battery of the Shredder, it is the easiest one out of the 4. When the boat ride activates, when you turn on power in the Kepler system, there will be a battery on the back of the boat. You need to shoot the battery off of the boat and then go up to the fountains. The battery will be floating one of the fountains. It'll shoot straight up. You'll see a red line or a red circle just go up to that fountain. This is a little hard to do, so just be next to one fountain and grab it when it pops up. Now for the toys, these are all color-coded for the souvenir coins. All 3 blues need to go to the souvenir machine and Journey into Space for the toy rocket. For the disco ball, one of each souvenir token needs to be placed just outside the arcade, close to the Karma 45. For the Head Cutter, you need to go into Polar Peak, and then the souvenir token machine in Polar Peak will need to be all greens. And then the one in Kepler needs to be all reds. Once you have all toys, you now need to get the Arcane Core. To activate an Arcane Core, you need to activate a trap, get at least 30 kills with it, and then the UFO will start moving around. For the Face Melter, you need to use the Rocket Trap, get 30 kills with that. So that was the most annoying, so I recommend getting that one out of the way first. For the arcade, you need to use the Disco Ball Trap, get 30 kills with that. For the Head Cutter, you need to use the Steel Dragon, get 30 kills with that. And then for the Shredder, you need to use the Chromosphere trap. You get 30 kills with that. Once the UFOs of all 4 have been released, you can do it one at a time. One at a time, all the time, it doesn't matter. You need to get, I think it's like 30 more kills with the arcane core on your gun close to the UFO. If it's too far, the souls won't go into it. Once you have all 30, their little core will just drop and there'll be a ball right in the area. So go ahead and grab that and then take it to the alligator snap trap. Now, for this alligator trap, we want to break the teeth with the brute. The brute will need to be walk under it before it snaps. When it snaps, he'll just hold it up with his hand and then the teeth will break. When the teeth break, you can go ahead and kill the brute, and then all you need to do is walk up to it and hold X on the bottom row of teeth. There's no need to like set it off and place it then. And then when you do place it, the contraption in the back will appear. You need to shoot one of the 4 gates with the arcane core. I can tell you right now, the very first one on the left is Polar Peak. The second one is going to be the Journey into Space. The third one is going to be the Arcade, and the last one is going to be the Chromosphere from Kepler System. Shoot that off with the arcane core specifically that you grab from the UFO, and you'll have the crystal. And when you have a wonder weapon and you flipped a full round, we now need to get these speakers from the DJ. My weapon of choice for wonder weapon was the Shredder. It's the easiest to get while playing solo. When we talk to the DJ after one full round, he'll give us the speakers, and this is always the same pattern every time you go to grab one. It'll be yellow, blue, green, red in that order when you place them down. The easiest way to remember this is put the first one on Pack-a-Punch, the second one in front of Journey, the third one in front of Polar Peak, and the fourth one in front of Kepler System. One thing I would recommend grabbing is going to be the Repulsor. Repulsor is 50 tickets. It's in one of the same booths as well as the same thing as the Rewind, but just know, if you have a Rewind and you want to keep it and then you grab the Repulsor, it will replace the Rewind. Keep that in mind. Now, to start this Easter egg, at least have your Kendall 44, the Pack-a-Punch version of it, and your wonder weapon, and hold X on a speaker. If you're playing with multiple people, it will have to be all 4 players at the same time hold X on a speaker. When this happens, the UFO will just launch out of the freaking iceberg and come right at you and say, "Hey, I hear your signal. Let's play a game, shall we?" And this game is good old Simon Says. Nothing wrong with that. The UFO will give you a color sequence, and then you need to mimic it. Now, if you place the speakers in the right spot, you should be just fine, and you should be very easy to do. Now, with that being said, for this, just train the zombies around. You don't have to kill them all, because as soon as the UFO starts doing its sequence and all the speakers have a white light, there will be no more zombies that spawn in, which is nice, so you can get them down a little bit if you need to, but there's just absolutely no reason to. Do the sequence, and then if you do it right, all the lights will come back on, and then the UFO will blink white. I didn't showcase it, but it'll blink white. If you don't do it in time, or if you get the sequence wrong, a brute will spawn in as punishment. Keep that in mind for when you're doing this. Now, if you do get it right, kill the zombies. One of them is a guaranteed max ammo. It's always going to be the first one you kill. You need to do this sequence 2 more times. So Simon Says again for a second time. Simon Says again for a third time. When you do it for a third time, clowns are going to spawn in. And I mean, an onslaught of clowns is going to spawn in. It is so many clowns. I would just keep your Kendall out at all costs. There's no need to waste your wonder weapon ammo here, because the wonder weapon is going to be for the boss. When all of the clowns have been killed off, Willard will say a quote. I can't remember the quote off the top of the head. He will say a quote, and then the alien will spawn in right at Pack-a-Punch. The alien is there to attack you, not be your friend. So this is where the wonder weapon comes in handy. For this, I recommend training. Try to keep the zombies on your back at all costs. And if you think you can't shoot the alien, don't shoot. Again, an Easter egg you want to take your time on. If you go too fast, you could run into a horde and not pay attention and then just die off. I've had that happen to me way too many times, or I just had the alien just absolutely blast me because I wasn't paying attention. Now for these aliens, they have an indicator on their chest. It is an indicator saying how low or high their health is. So if it's green, it's the highest. If it's yellow, it's kind of in the middle. If it's red, you're almost done. When you get it down to red, and then shoot them enough times, You will have a defensive bubble around him. Once that defensive bubble is gone, you need to punch one of his fuses to break his backpack. Now you need to do this a second time. So again, train around, but again, if you do it right, a max ammo will spawn on the next zombie you kill. The game knows you're going to be doing this for a while, so they give you plenty of max ammo. So there's nothing to worry about too much unless you run out of ammo prematurely and you didn't bring in the rewind like I'm suggesting. That will be why the max ammo would come in handy. When you slap the second fuse off, another max ammo will spawn in, but all you need to do now is kill the alien. I got kind of lucky here. He kind of just stayed on the ground for half his health for this one. When you completely kill him off, he will just disappear. You get I think 1,000 XP, and then the alien fuses will sit right in front of the pack punch. When you grab the alien fuses, you need to go inside the pack punch machine with your wonder weapon and install them. This is the only way we're going to be pack punching our wonder weapons. We need to pack punch them and then just go back outside. On that giant archway that passes the bridges all the way through, there will be 5 lights that you need to shoot with your wonder weapon to charge them. Shoot 4 of them, and then get in position to shoot the 5th one close to the pack punch. The UFO that is attacking you will need to be hit by the laser charge from the bridge. I didn't get the first try. I was just barely off. So I had to try it again, and when I flipped around, and then the next time, I got it. Bam! When you shoot the UFO down, the UFO will crash into Polar Peak. You will now have double pack punch. You will now have upgradable wonder weapons. And you will have a piece of the soul key. I do hope this guide helps a lot. But on to the next guy. GD and Boy, out.